Ever wonder why some engines run smoothly for 500,000 kilometers, while others give up after barely 130,000? It's not luck, and it's not just about regular oil changes. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the 11 insider secrets mechanics know but rarely share. These aren't your typical change the oil tips. These are the small, often overlooked habits and details that quietly destroy your engine over time. Stick around till the end because the last tip could save you thousands of dollars in repairs. I've spent years gathering real stories from mechanics and car owners, and here's what I've learned. Engines don't just fail by accident. They fail because no one told you the full story. Not the dealer, not the manual, and often not even your mechanic. So if you're serious about making your engine last for the long haul, this video is for you. Ready? Let's dive in. Secret number 1. Fueling wisely. Avoid isolated gas stations. Here's something mechanics rarely mention. Where you fill up your tank matters more than you think. Avoid gas stations that look deserted, those tucked away in industrial areas or out in the countryside with no steady stream of customers. Why? Because fuel sitting stagnant in underground tanks for days or weeks collects water, sediments, and invisible impurities. Over time, these contaminants build up and cause real harm. Even worse, if you see a fuel tanker unloading while you arrive, don't fill up right then. The turbulence stirs up sediment settled at the bottom of the tank, and the murky mix gets pumped straight into your car's tank. You won't see it, smell it, or hear it. But those tiny particles clog your fuel filter, wreck your fuel pump, and gum up your injectors. The result? Your car hesitates, stumbles at startup, loses power, and you blame the engine, when all you did was fill up at the wrong place. One time is okay, but if you refuel at these spots every week, you're inviting silent engine damage. Stick to busy, well-maintained stations with a high turnover. The fuel is the same, but the quality? Night and day. And your engine will definitely notice the difference. Secret number 2, don't kill your turbo right away. If you drive a turbocharged diesel or gasoline engine, here's a crucial habit you need to adopt. Never shut off your engine the moment you park after a long drive. Why? Because turbochargers can reach scorching temperatures, sometimes over 800 degrees Celsius. When you cut the engine instantly, the oil that cools and lubricates the turbo stops circulating, and it begins to bake, leaving behind carbon deposits. Think of it as burnt glue clogging up vital parts inside your turbo. Over time, these deposits damage seals, block oil passages, and lead to that high-pitched whistle or loss of power. In worst cases, the turbo fails entirely, an expensive repair that can cost as much as half the engine itself. Experienced mechanics never switch off the car right away after a long trip. They let it idle for 30 seconds to a full minute, letting the turbo cool down and clean oil keep flowing. Here's what you should do. When you reach your destination, put the car in neutral, engage the handbrake, and wait at least half a minute before turning off the ignition. That small pause can add years to your turbo's lifespan and save you from a costly breakdown. Secret number 3, oil changes. Forget the manual's timeline. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Just follow the manual, change the oil every 20,000 kilometers. Well, forget that. Those intervals are based on ideal conditions: steady highway driving, mild climate, clean fuel. But your daily reality? Stop-and-go traffic, short trips, frequent cold starts, all factors that degrade oil faster than you think. Seasoned mechanics know this and often recommend oil changes every 10,000 to 15,000 kilometers, even if the manual says you can wait longer. Why does it matter so much? Oil is the lifeblood of your engine. It touches every part, carrying away dirt and particles. When oil gets dirty or loses viscosity, it stops lubricating properly and leaves harmful deposits behind. If you wait too long, the damage doesn't show immediately. You'll notice it 30,000 kilometers down the road when the engine starts making noise, consuming more fuel or leaking fluids. Want your engine to last 500,000 kilometers? Change your oil earlier than the book says, always. Secret number 4, the overlooked fuel filter. When you think maintenance, oil and air filters probably come to mind first. But what about the fuel filter? It's the unsung hero nobody talks about. This little component catches water, dust, and impurities before they reach your engine's fuel system. If neglected, it clogs up. A clogged fuel filter means your fuel pump has to work overtime, injectors start vibrating, and your engine loses power. Here's the catch. Unlike oil filters, fuel filters often don't have a clear replacement schedule. Some manufacturers say every 60,000 kilometers, others say 90,000. Truth is, it depends heavily on your fuel quality. If you regularly fill up at cheap or low-traffic stations, your filter faces a tougher job. Replacing a fuel filter usually costs less than €80. Ignore it, and you risk injector damage, which can run into the thousands. Make fuel filter care a priority. It's not just about good fuel, it's about protection from what's inside that fuel. Secret number 5, starting after long periods of inactivity. What happens when your car has been sitting still for several days? You hop in, turn the key, and drive off right away. Seems normal, right? But you're actually starting the engine dry. When a car sits unused, the oil that normally lubricates the top engine parts drains down into the oil pan. It takes about 5 to 15 seconds for the oil pump to circulate the oil back up to critical areas like the camshaft, valves, and turbo. If you hit the accelerator immediately or tackle an incline, metal parts slide against each other without proper lubrication. It doesn't cause instant failure, but every cold start chips away at your engine's lifespan. Good mechanics know this well. When they start cars that have been idle for days, they wait at least 10 to 15 seconds before pressing the gas. This tiny habit makes a huge difference over time. It's the line between an engine struggling at 150,000 kilometers and one running smoothly at 400,000. Secret number 6, recognizing diesel particulate filter. If you drive a modern diesel, you've got a diesel particulate filter, or DPF, working hard to trap harmful particles. Over time, it fills up and needs to clean itself through a process called regeneration. During regeneration, the engine raises exhaust temperatures to burn off soot and debris clogging the filter. The catch? You usually won't notice when this happens. There's no warning light or alert, but if you switch off the engine during regeneration, even just a few times, the filter won't clear out properly. Eventually, it clogs completely. That's when trouble begins. Warning lights come on, the engine enters limp mode, and your mechanic shows up with a hefty repair bill. How to tell when regeneration is happening? Watch for these subtle signs. The engine idles a bit higher than usual. The cooling fan runs longer after turning off the car. The exhaust smells sharper or different than normal. When you notice these, don't shut off the engine immediately. Take a 10 to 15 minute drive at steady RPMs to let the cycle finish. Good mechanics can spot this just by listening, but you don't have to be a pro. Recognizing these cues can save you serious money and keep your diesel running clean. Secret number 7, the importance of your fuel cap. It might seem like just a simple twist and snap, but your fuel cap is more important than you realize. Its job? Sealing the tank to keep moisture, dirt, and dust out. If the rubber seal is cracked, dry, or worn, or if the cap doesn't close tightly, air sneaks in. That moisture condenses inside the tank, mixing with your diesel or gasoline. When the fuel pump kicks in, tiny droplets of this moisture enter the fuel system. One drop at a time, it clogs your fuel filter, corrodes injectors, and messes with combustion. You won't notice until your engine starts running rough, stalling, or losing power. What should you do? Every once in a while, open the cap and check the seal. It should be soft, intact, and flexible. If it's dry or cracked, replace it. A new fuel cap costs just a few euros. If your car is older, make sure it fits snugly without any wiggle. Remember, saving a few euros on a cheap or faulty cap could cost you hundreds, or even thousands in injector repairs. Don't underestimate the power of this tiny part. It's often the starting point for bigger engine problems. Secret number 8, avoid aggressive driving. Right after cold start. Picture this. It's cold outside, you're running late. You start the engine and immediately floor the gas, accelerating, changing gears quickly, and pushing the car hard. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's the most common mistake that slowly destroys your engine's bearings. Those bearings are small but crucial parts that separate the crankshaft's moving metal from the engine block. Their lifespan depends on one thing: oil reaching them at the right pressure and temperature right when the engine starts. When the engine's cold, oil is thick and slow to circulate. If you push the engine hard immediately, metal grinds on metal without proper lubrication. There's no noise, no obvious signs, but every cold start like this wears down your engine bit by bit. Over time, those bearings thin out and weaken until one sharp jolt can seize the engine completely. And that repair? Far from cheap. It can cost thousands. So here's the golden rule. After starting, let your engine warm up for 2 to 3 minutes before driving hard. Take it easy, accelerate gently, and keep the revs low. If it's freezing outside, consider switching to a slightly thinner oil during winter months. Remember, engines that reach 500,000 kilometers don't abuse those crucial first minutes. Secret number 9. Use fuel additives like the pros. Here's a little-known trick almost every experienced mechanic uses on their personal vehicles, but rarely tells customers about fuel additives. Not the flashy miracle products from commercials, serious tested formulas designed to clean injectors, valves, and the entire fuel system. Even premium diesel can leave behind residues, varnishes, and microscopic deposits over time. The result? Reduced efficiency, higher fuel consumption, and a rougher running engine. If you ignore these deposits too long, your injectors clog, and replacing them can cost a fortune. A good additive costs about €20 and should be used every 20,000 kilometers. Just pour it into the tank before filling up, and it quietly does its job during your drive. Some mechanics even add it before selling a used car and take it for a 30-kilometer spin to wake up the engine, leaving the buyer impressed by the smoothness. If they do it to sell, why not do it to protect your own engine? Using additives isn't an expense. It's an insurance policy against invisible damage that builds up over time. If the pros trust it on their own cars, maybe you should too. Secret number 10. Choosing the right oil matters more than you think. You've probably heard someone say, as long as it's 5W30, you're good. But here's the thing. That's only half the story. The number tells you the oil's viscosity, but behind that simple label are dozens of different formulas. Car manufacturers approve specific standards like ACEA, VW, MB, BMW, Ford, and more. A 5W30 oil meeting the VW 507 specification is worlds apart from a generic 5W30 bought at a supermarket. The differences: oxidation resistance, ash content, compatibility with particulate filters, DPF, EGR valves, and modern engine tolerances. Using the wrong oil is like watering down fine wine. It might look fine at first, but over time it ruins everything. Good mechanics check the oil specifications first, then the viscosity. Especially if your car has a DPF, using an incompatible oil can clog the system in under 50,000 kilometers. So, when buying oil, always check the technical data sheet or ask for the exact compatibility. Stick with brands officially approved by your car's manufacturer. Sure, the right oil might cost €30 more, but a turbo failure from poor lubrication can cost thousands. It's not just about looking right, it has to be the right one. Secret number 11. Take your engine on a regular highway run. Want to know the real difference between engines that fail at 150,000 kilometers and those that keep running strong past 400,000? It's not just oil changes or maintenance routines, it's about how you treat your engine. Cars used mostly for city driving, stop-and-go traffic, short trips, cold starts, age faster. Their components never reach optimal operating temperature. The oil never burns off moisture inside. The engine can't complete regeneration cycles. All that builds up silently inside. That's why many mechanics advise, take your car out for a proper run once a week. 15 to 20 minutes on the highway, steady RPMs, higher gears, not to speed, but to let the engine work in its ideal environment. Think of it like a Sunday jog after sitting at a desk all week. Your body stretches, your engine breathes. This simple habit outperforms many early service intervals because it's not just technical, it's mechanical biology. Engines that get good care last longer. Engines trapped in cold stop-start conditions wear out inside. And the only thing spinning fast at that point? Your wallet. These aren't theories. They're real habits learned from mechanics who've seen engines reach 500,000 kilometers and others fail before 150,000. It's not luck. It's what you do every time you turn the key. Which of these 11 secrets surprised you? And more importantly, which ones have you been ignoring? If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe. And if you want to get ahead, consider joining our membership. Every week, exclusive content, practical tools, and insider videos designed to help you save money and avoid getting ripped off. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.